Have a nice new shiny whiteboard for your meeting room space. Not this type of whiteboard, a proper whiteboard. And you want to share? Stay tuned. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Mo Mondays. In this week's episode, I am going to talk to you about whiteboarding inside of a meeting room space. And I'm not talking about digital whiteboards. I'm talking about the physical thing that hangs on a wall where people get up and start doodling. Now, in recent years, of course, Microsoft has made huge investments in ensuring that we create what we call inclusivity inside and outside of meeting room spaces. Usually, if somebody gets up to whiteboard, and many of us love whiteboarding, people that are joining in from the outside of that meeting room space don't get to see what's going on. So Microsoft created something called content cameras and intelligent capture. And it's not a new thing. It's been around for a number of years now. But the drawback was if you wanted to use a content camera, you had to buy a certified camera. And there were a list of certified cameras from Logitech and Yealink and others that were able to be used as a content camera. However, in recent months, Microsoft, utilizing the power of the cloud, has now enabled you to use pretty much any USB webcam, plug it into your Microsoft Teams Rooms device, point it to a whiteboard and be able to use that for content camera. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can go ahead and do that. But before I do, the first thing I want you to do is actually the link down below. So I've talked about this before, the Microsoft Teams Rooms admin guide. If you click that link down below, or you follow the link down below, or you can just Google or Bing Teams Rooms admin guide, the first link that pops up will take you to this screen across here. So let me get rid of that. So this here is the admin guide, as you know. On the left-hand side of the page is all your navigation. What we want to do is head over to deploy. And then where you've got deploy, you've got peripherals. There we are. So you hit peripherals, and then you've got content camera across there. When you select content camera, this guide will pretty much tell you everything there is to know about content cameras. So you're able to see what a content camera looks like and how it works with the video down below. But more importantly, it tells you about the size of the whiteboards that are recommended to use. And also camera location. So where are the cameras located and camera distance? That's quite key as well. So when you are setting up a kind of content camera with a physical whiteboard inside of the meeting room space, go onto this website, have a look at the dimensions, have a look at the recommendations, and then use the guide to set up your camera. You can either put it up on the ceiling or you can have it placed wherever you want. In my case today, so let me just hide the screen. In my case today, I'm doing a very, very rough temporary layout. You might notice down here, I've got a camera. I've got a Lenovo ThinkSmart camera that was lying around. I've got one of them. And then I've got a whiteboard just on the other side, and you'll get to see that one in a second. Now, content camera is available on both Microsoft Teams Rooms on Windows and also Microsoft Teams Rooms on Android as well. The way it works is pretty much the same, but slightly different experiences. And again, on the admin guide, it does give you the option to select Microsoft Teams Rooms Windows or Microsoft Teams Rooms Android to have a look at what are those options look like. For today's demo, I am actually using a Teams Rooms on Windows. So let me go ahead and just share my Teams Rooms on Windows device. And like I said, you can use Android as well. The only difference with Android is it may give you like a non-friendly name for the camera. When you plug a camera in, it might not say Brio, it might not say ThinkSmart, it might not say P15, it might just have a bunch of gibberish. That's just one of the restrictions of Android at the moment. But the point is, it will still connect, it will still work. On Windows, on the other hand, it does actually tell you what the camera is. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. Perfect. You should be able to see my screen right now with the two cats. On the right-hand side of the screen across here, this here is my front of room display. This is what's on the big screen, what people sitting in the room get to see. On the left-hand side is the touch console display. So this is the screen that sits in the middle of the table and is what you use to control the call with. First thing you want to do is go ahead, select the More button, and then select Settings. Once you're in Settings, and you need to enter your password. So if I try and scoot around, there we go. My very secure password. You can probably imagine what that one is. You'll get into Settings. As soon as you're in Settings, what you want to do is head down to Peripherals. In Peripherals, you'll notice we have two different options for cameras. We have the default video camera. So that default video camera is the main camera that's used to capture people inside of that meeting room. And then you'll see content camera pop up. Where you see content camera, you can then select which camera is plugged in. In my case, I'm using a Think Smart Cam just to be a bit more dynamic and show it works with other OEMs as well. A Think Smart camera, which is a really good camera. You can actually go ahead and hit the preview button to see what that camera is looking at. And you can see right now, my camera is not even pointed directly at the screen, right? So you can see I've got my laptop across there. I've got all my other screens and things. I've got my editing software and whatnot. So it's quite far off, but the camera will automatically try and zoom in, etc. Now, to see in action, you do need to be in a test call. So that's really all you have to do is just select the camera. You'll also notice we have content enhancements, which is recommended. Highly recommend select that button. That will enable the cloud to be able to, pick up what writing is, etc. Makes a huge, huge difference. The option below, rotate camera by 180 degrees. Again, that's important. If you mount a camera on a ceiling and you've mounted it upside down, it will effectively flip the image 180 degrees. So then you get the right way, the way it's supposed to look, right? So you can mount them on a ceiling, and many partners will actually do that because it's tucked out the way, it's pointed directly down at a camera. It's easier just to kind of mount cameras like that. Once you've done that, you go ahead and save and exit. Cool. Now I'm back up my normal screen. Now my setup here is this camera sitting on a box. Realistically, you'd have it mounted properly with correct lighting and the right size screen. But in my temporary little layout, hopefully it's going to work really well. So let's do a test. We go ahead, we hit the Meet Now button. That will then start this call. You should be able to start seeing me from the main camera across here. Obviously, I've got no one else on the call, which is why I've got this big thing in the middle, but you'll see that E70 camera kick in across there. But if I get your eyes to ignore my side mug across here, but actually have a look on the left-hand side, where you've got your touch console and the settings, there's a couple of things you can do. Now, depending on the camera that you're plugging in, so for example, if you are using, let's say, a poly camera and you're using like a P15 camera, you can hit the three dots and then you've got something called room controls. Well, I'll select it just to show you what it does. Within room controls, I have the ability to turn camera tracking on and off and, have all the different AI capabilities switched on or off. Depending on the camera that's plugged in, you may need to frame that camera and turn off tracking, etc. You shouldn't have to have any of that part set up. In my case, of course, I'm using a Think Smart camera, so that doesn't apply to me. But just to let you know, if you are using a USB camera that has these AI capabilities, sometimes you may need to actually frame that camera properly and disabling all of those little options like group framing and speaker tracking, etc. Because all you really want the camera to do is point at that whiteboard and nothing else. So let's go ahead and give it a bash. So the share icon, the square with the rectangle with the arrow pointing up, you hit that button once, you're given a bunch of options. I remember the good old days, the only option that you had was HDMI, right? Which was sharing content via laptop. But now we've given two additional options as well. We have the Microsoft Whiteboard, which is your digital canvas. That's the one that's used if you want to collaborate with others on a laptop, etc. Really good way to use it. But if you want to go old school and you want to use analog, then you would select content camera across here. So I'm going to go ahead, select content camera, hit the share button. And what it should start doing is it will identify where that whiteboard is and it will zoom straight in. And you saw what it did. It brought up the green kind of rectangle because of the intelligence inside Teams Rooms devices. It's like, that's the whiteboard. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and select. The great thing I love about content cameras is a feature called Intelligent Capture. Intelligent Capture will automatically start seeing what's on that whiteboard and then digitizing it. Now it's trying to follow my fingers. So I'm going to stop a second and it'll go back up again. And that's because, like I said, I never turned off like speaker tracking on the actual Think Smart camera. I didn't have the software installed. But what you'll notice is when it detects writing, it will digitize it and portray that. So if I was to put my hand right above it, you'll see my hand, the writing is kind of like ghosted. Well, my hand is ghosted and the writing's above it. I'm going to go quiet for a second and I'm going to use a marker and just write something else. And you'll see how it works. So give me 1 second. And you saw how instant that was, right? As soon as I started writing, it started picking things up. I can get my hand over it and you'll see, even if people are standing in front of a whiteboard, the remote participants are still able to see it. Now, of course, my setup here isn't the most ideal. My camera is balancing on a box. I never turned off like speaker tracking and stuff because I didn't have the software on my MTR to do it. And of course, I'm using a teeny tiny whiteboard and it's my home office whiteboard. But in a real scenario, of course, you'd have the camera mounted correctly, the correct lighting, the correct distances, have it pointed directly, on the whiteboard itself. And be able to really take advantage of being inclusive. So people inside of the room that want to get up and doodle and physically write things on a board are now able to. And then people like us that are sitting at home and dialing into a meeting, we are also now able to see that whiteboard. There you have it, guys. Nice and simple. If you want to set up a content camera with a physical whiteboard inside of a meeting room space with your Teams rooms on Android or your Teams rooms on Windows, this is how you would do it. On Android, it's pretty much the same sort of way to do it as well. With that in mind, guys, I just want to say thank you so much. Of course, if you have any questions or queries, please comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Myself or somebody from the Microsoft team will be able to answer any questions that you have. But with that in mind, I just want to say thank you so much. And no doubt I shall see you guys next week. Ciao.